Bitcoin is currently consolidating at $23,000. Will this consolidation facilitate a rally toward the upside, or are we going to see higher time frame confirmation of that downtrend playing out? Let's go ahead and find out. Okay guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for tuning into another video. I hope you're all having a fantastic day today. We're here to discuss Bitcoin's price action, specifically the reaction at $23,000. We're going to talk about the possibility for a bounce or a correction from this level, and what would those entail. How high could Bitcoin go and how low could Bitcoin go? What will a breakdown mean for the charts in the macro and the short term, and what would a break upwards mean? We'll be discussing this from a technical and a structural standpoint, as well as looking at the macro data and the financial markets as well. Before we get into it, smash the like button, hit that comment button, subscribe to the channel for daily videos on Bitcoin. We discover everything from charts, from analysis, technical, structures. We talk about absolutely everything, including the financial markets, market data, and economic data. So if you want a well-rounded analysis daily, this is the place for it. You can also find us on Telegram. That is going to be the second link down below in the pinned comments. You'll get access to all of our charts, analysis, information, videos, updates, news events, and more. Again, we post a lot of relevant and important information here, including everything such as news events, like I just said, market data, and even educational posts. You can find us on our VIP channel if you're interested in trading. If you like trading cryptocurrency, if you're interested in trading more seriously, you can join our VIP. We do exact entries, targets, stop losses, such as this NG trade. We saw a massive profit of 174%. You can see our trading track record over here in VIP for the last month, and you can view our entire trading track record since 2021. For VIP, we got basically every single month. I'm very proud to say we have never actually had a negative month here for VIP. At the moment, we do have a sale for the next 72 hours. You can join for 10 to 30% off your memberships. Only 14 memberships remain for that discount. And again, you'll get access to not only the main VIP chat, but as well as the group chat. Let's get into the video, guys. Starting off the market data. Currently, Feb is looking at 0.19% in the green. What can I say, guys? Not a whole lot. Really not a whole lot. February has not been a very interesting month. We've seen a lot of attempted breakouts of a 25K. We've seen a lot of pullbacks. We've seen a lot of chop. There's been a lot of liquidations this month. But overall, in terms of the macro structure, we haven't really seen February change anything. There hasn't been any drastic changes in the overall narrative for this month. We're more or less in that decision and indecision zone that the market is sitting in. At the moment, we are over the weekend. We do expect volume and volatility to drop. We have seen a 44% reduction in the 24-hour volume, and subsequently a 55% reduction in the 24-hour liquidations, with the liquidations being mainly on the longs, as we did lose 23.6, and we had that strong correction, and what I would say caught a lot of longs off guard with that pullback all the way down to 30. And currently we are starting to see some shorts liquidate as we get that bounce back above 23,000, as a lot of late shorts would have been taken as we lost that 23 point here, liquidating those individuals as the price rises. Moving on from there, we can see the overall 30-day volatility at 2.69% and the overall 60-day volatility at 2.48%. So volatility is by all means on the rise overall, but on the shorter time frame, guys, as we'll be discussing today, volatility has been dropping. So let's get into our analysis, starting with the DXY. You can see the DXY rallied quite strong. We're not going to spend too much time on today. We saw a very strong rally from DXY all the way down from this 101 zone, and we actually said, guys, at around 101 we're going to find support. We expected a rally up to our blue zone, which was our first target. If we broke through our blue zone, we expected a break of 104 and subsequently 105. So pretty much over the last 4 or 5 weeks, the DXY has done exactly as we expected, to the T, completely and utterly perfectly, which is great to see. Moving on to S&P 500 and Dow Jones, the Dow Jones has seen a breakdown of its symmetrical triangle structure. Again, the daily close below that trend line confirmed the breakdown, and since then we saw a continuation toward our first target of 33,000, which we are now under. We are sitting underneath that, our next target being 32,000. Moving on to the S&P 500, we had seen a breakdown of a rising wedge formation. Again, a daily close under the 4,000 level, as well as the uptrending support line, confirm that breakdown, and a continuation downwards is definitely probable unless this area and this local high at $4,025 is reclaimed immediately, okay? Looking at the larger scale for Bitcoin, we are currently about 20 hours away from a weekly candle close below the 200 moving average and a Gaussian channel, and we are 2 days and 21 hours away from a monthly candle close below the 50 EMA. These are 2 points that are massively concerning, and we'll discuss in today's video and again tomorrow when that close occurs. I wanted to briefly interrupt today's video to discuss my favorite exchange, Bitget. If you're looking for a safe, honest, reliable, and accurate exchange, look no further than Bitget. You can sign up by the link in the description to support the channel and get access to 3 exclusive perks. That being up to $5,005 US in trading rewards, up to 15% discount on your trading fees, and exclusive access to our MegaWhale promotion campaigns that we run every few months. Alongside that, guys, Bitget is a non-KYC exchange, meaning you do not have to KYC. It is completely optional. Bitget also has a protection fund that secures user assets against external hacks and threats in the space. Alongside that, guys, Bitget offers up to 125x leverage on futures with extensive amount of trading pairs and liquidity on the market. I highly recommend signing up to Bitget. It is the exchange I've been using for over a year and a half now, including all of our members. If you're interested in signing up, trading there, and supporting the channel, you can do so with the link in the description. Thanks for listening. So let's get into Bitcoin, guys. What has actually happened? We have seen a few strong rejections. First and foremost, a quick summary for everyone who is new to the channel. Bitcoin broke towards the upside from what we had a reversal structure, right? Bitcoin was in a larger time frame reversal structure, which of course was our falling wedge. This is our falling wedge structure. We broke toward the upside. Our breakout target of the falling wedge was the first initial high of that falling wedge, which took us directly to 25,000. Perfect, we can tick that off. We completed that reversal structure. The next question is, for the next move toward the upside to occur, we need to get above this local high. This local high needs to be broken. In fact, this local high represents a 250-day plus long resistance, guys. As you would know, the longer the resistance, the stronger the resistance, the more time it has to develop these orders at resistance, and the stronger it becomes. If we take a look at our volume range, guys, our VRPV, our visible range volume profile, we can see where our historical trading orders have been placed. We can see areas of higher frequency trading and areas of lower frequency trading. What we see in the chart here is fascinating. We see immediately after 25,000, I did this yesterday as well, I said 52,000, 25,000, we can see a massive drop in that historical trading volume, indicating if Bitcoin is able to reclaim and break through as a resistance, we are going to be entering a very low resistance range, and the trend upwards will continue, and not only continue, but it will continue quite aggressively. This will also trigger a macro uptrend according to our weekly and according to our monthly charts. So a macro uptrend develop on the weekly, we need to get above 25K. As 25K is where that 200 moving average is sitting, and will facilitate a break into the Gaussian channel on the larger time frame, and again facilitate a macro uptrend. And again on the monthly, breaking over 24.3K and closing a monthly candle above 24.3K will confirm a macro uptrend. So a lot rests on this zone, guys. The macro uptrend initiates once we get above here. Until then, this entire uptrend is nothing more than a reversal pattern. This is a reversal, and currently we have developed a bearish structure, which is a rising wedge at resistance. So let's talk about the rising wedge. Let's talk about what happened with the price action. Then we'll do our technicals and then our short term, and then we'll go back to that macro chart. So as you would know, guys, rising wedges are classified by 2 rising trend lines, which are converging to each other. They're essentially the same as falling wedges, right? Rising wedges are essentially the same as falling wedges. All you need to do is invert them. So knowing that rising wedges are the same as falling wedges, we can expect the probable break direction to be statistically the same as the probable break direction of a falling wedge. A falling wedge has about a 78% probability of breaking out in the upward direction. Thus, a rising wedge has about a 78% probability of breaking toward the downside. Now, here is the thing. Until the downside trend line has been broken, we are technically still in a uptrend. I've been saying this for quite some time. Whether you look at it from a structural stand or whether you look at it from a technical stance, we are structurally and technically, I'll show you here, still in a uptrend. From a technical stance, we're above the 50 EMA, we're above our Gaussian channel and daily. This represents a uptrend. However, we can see the prices drop below the smaller time frame moving averages after having bearish divergences print at resistance. This signifies, although we are in a uptrend, the uptrend is significantly weakening and is likely to start developing a short-term downtrend, which we now have seen, right? We've seen that short-term downtrend, which could potentially facilitate and develop into a higher time frame downtrend if it breaks that higher time frame downtrend and that short-term downtrend continues, which we are currently seeing happen, right? We have seen the price complete that short-term downtrend, okay, from that rejection zone. We have now retested the uptrending support of our structural support on this current structural pattern, which is a bearish rising wedge, okay, where we are now going to be retesting at 23,000, determining whether we lose this level and continue downwards, okay, or if we bounce on this level and have another rally towards the upside. Even if we see another rally towards the upside, this pattern is still bearish. This pattern is still representing a higher probability of a breakdown and thus a continuation, or a what you would call a flip in the trend, a reversal in the trend on the higher time frame, then it is suggesting a direct breakout upwards. It can happen, but it is, when you look at the probabilities of market structures, it is less probable, it is less likely, okay? So what would occur if Bitcoin breaks this uptrending trend line? So let's go down to a small time frame. If Bitcoin breaks this uptrending trend line, we're going to see a correction towards our next major support, which is going to be this 22,000 to 21,500 level, okay? This is our next major support. A loss of the support level will facilitate a continuation even lower. Okay, so we draw that uptrending support line in here. We can see this is where that next support is going to be. We're likely to find support here before we continue back down, or we find a new base of support here and develop a new market structure from that point and continue upwards. However, guys, on the short-term time frame, Bitcoin is starting to show some amount of strength. Obviously, we have bounced here on the short-term time frame at 23,000, 22,900 at the POC level, which is a point of control, the point on the chart, the horizontal range in the chart. This is our range, which constitutes the highest amount of historical trading volume or orders. So it does define support. It does represent significant support. A loss of this level here at 22.8K is going to confirm that continuation downwards and thus the breakdown of this structure. So when will we have a breakdown of the structure? We're going to be looking for a loss of this horizontal line here, which is sitting at around 22.8K, or a 4-hour close below 22,300 to confirm that, okay? One of those things to occur, therefore we will break this trend line and our next target is going to be statistically likely towards 22,000 to 21,500. That is going to be the very probable target for the short term. However, guys, until then, we can see Bitcoin is potentially developing some sort of falling wedge structure or descending channel structure. We have this descending trend line here. We have this descending trend line here. Two descending trend lines that converge. We do have some degree of a falling wedge structure. Thus, a reversal at this 23,000 level is definitely still possible. A breakout and above of this uptrending support line will facilitate a continuation to retest the local low of our prior horizontal resistance range, which is that zone between these resistances 3,600 and 25,000. If we do retest level, this will be a point of rejection where we will either reject or continue upwards. This will be the determining point of whether or not we get a higher time frame rejection from, or a higher rejection from this rising wedge, or if we push back up and get that final retest that we're expecting at 22.6 before we come back down. But no matter which way you paint it right now, it is definitely not looking amazing from a structural or a technical standpoint for Bitcoin. For us to flip this, we're going to have to see an incredibly strong rally above 25.2K, strong enough to absolutely obliterate the 50 EMA and a 200 moving average, as well as this horizontal 254-day support zone to eliminate this bearish divergences, this bearish momentum and bearish structure developing on the higher time frame. Now, all of this may sound very bearish, but overall I'm very bullish, right? I don't expect any sort of pullback or correction to result in brand new lows. I've said it many times. At worst, I expect a pullback to 21.5. If we lose that level, the lowest I'm looking for is anywhere between 18.3 and 19.2. The reason being is because this area represents a major area of support, not only guys on the daily, not only on the weekly, but on the monthly chart. This area represents, we'll go ahead and show you, I'll take everything off in a second, bring up that VRPV, we can show you, and we'll go ahead and put this on 200 really quickly before we make it visible again. 200, okay, make it visible. Go to a weekly chart, and you guys are going to see how strong this area is. You can see it right over here. Look at that volume range over here, 19.2K. This is the local top of the 2017 bull market and the pinch zone in December 2022 before we had that massive rally. This is the strongest area of support on Bitcoin's chart in absolute history, okay? So a retest of that level is definitely possible. I would only be worried, okay? Only be worried for new lows if 19.2K is once again lost. However, guys, like I said already, we are definitely facing resistance here. A double top on a weekly chart does not look good. We are not looking great, okay? Looking at the larger time frame, a weekly rejection from the 200 moving averages is not a good thing, guys. A monthly rejection from the 50 EMA is not a good thing. We're in a very delicate position here, an incredibly delicate position, and a rejection from this level without a strong continuation up very soon to get above this level is not going to end well for Bitcoin. Like I said, a loss of 21.5K right over here will confirm that continuation back down. Until then, we are still in an uptrend. Until then, the bounce back above 25K is still very possible and should not be shunned upon, nor should be ignored. But you do have to be very much aware right now, guys. The downtrend is very much building strength. The downtrend is getting more and more likely, and the correction is definitely looking like it's coming. But like I said, guys, again, once more, short term, starting to look good. Starting looking on the short term, we can see we are in a falling wedge structure, okay? We can see we are bouncing from our volume ranges, okay? Not only that, let's go ahead and bring up some technicals, and then we'll end off the video. So the technicals on the short-term time frame. Let's go ahead and bring up the MACD. MACD, how are we looking at the MACD on the hourly? We see momentum is starting to rise. We're getting some consecutive green volume candles there. We can see on the 4-hour chart, guys, we are about to get a crossover. Technically, we still have negative momentum, but we have weakening negative momentum, suggesting a correction or a reversal is incoming for a momentum, or suggesting a positive shift in momentum is soon to occur. Looking at the market cipher B, what are we seeing over here? We're seeing very similar things. We can see we've already had that peak over here. Green dot represents a shift from strong negative momentum to weak negative momentum, okay? This shift could potentially develop and facilitate a continuation upwards and strong positive momentum developing. So definitely keep an eye on that. And finally, let's look at the RSI for another momentum indicator. We can see again a descending trend line developing here on the RSI and a potential retest of that trend line right now. If the Bitcoin price is able to break above this trend line, guys, we could potentially see this positive momentum continue over the next couple of days, potentially facilitating a rally for Bitcoin as the price moves upwards. Now, we do have not only a falling wedge here on the price action, but of course on the RSI. So this is definitely something to keep your eyes on, as this could facilitate a bounce. So right now, guys, longs are more favorable. Longs are more favorable until this uptrending support is lost. I'm going to say it one more time. Longs are more favorable. It doesn't matter what the short-term trend is looking at. It doesn't matter what the large time frame trend is looking at right now. Okay? We know we're weakening. We know the trend is weakening. But the short term is showing glimmers of reversals. Momentum is starting to climb. Okay? We're at major support. This is an incredibly strong support. If we lose the support, we are losing a macro uptrending support line. While we're at support, we look for longs. The moment that uptrending support breaks, we jump back into shorts, guys. I'm going to end the video there. If you've got any questions, leave them down below. Go ahead and sign up to the Crypto Academy. We teach you guys how to trade. We teach you guys how to analyze charts just like I do. We teach you everything from structures, technicals, market patterns. We teach you technical indicators. We teach you candlesticks. We teach you risk analysis and risk management, market psychology, absolutely everything in between. Go ahead and contact us for more information. Sign up to the VIP while we discounts out. You will not regret it, guys. Probably the best VIP channel, guys, on Telegram. We post so much stuff on there. Just ask any of our members, and we'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Cheers.